We are live. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to This Is IT. Got Network Chuck here. Say hi, David.
Hey everyone, Chuck always says I should change my spiel, so Dumela, hoe gaan het? There you go.
I don't even know what just happened, but we are at Cisco headquarters, which is cool by itself, but we're on this set of TechWise TV, which is amazing. I mean, how cool is this?
It's very good to be here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Logos, all their nice stuff.
I mean, do you guys think we should get a studio like this? I think it'd be pretty cool. But hey, the guys who are tuning in, we already got 10 people watching. We're here for some questions. I mean, we're at HQ. We thought it'd be cool just to go live here real quick. But if you have a question, let us know.
So before we go any further, Chuck.
They said turn the mic up. How's that, Sergio? Sound pretty good? But go ahead. I think we should be good now.
I was going to say, do I sound better this time? Because last time we did live, you said I sounded like a robot or something.
Like, yeah, he was pretty robotic. Like, I think someone called you a Dalek. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's
Doctor,
right.
Is that how you say it, Lauren? Okay, Dalek. And let's check it out. So, okay, we got 11 people in here. Hey, questions.
Yeah, give us questions, guys.
Come on, let us know.
So, I mean, can you hear me? I was going to kick it off and say we've spent the week at Cisco. It's been great. Lauren's over there. She's been looking after us. Lauren, you better come and say hi.
Want to go say hi? Yeah.
This is Lauren. She's been fantastic. She's part of the Champions
Come
program.
on.
Sit on your lap.
No.
And this is Regified. Hi, guys.
And bye. No.
And bye. It's nice knowing you.
Yeah, so you're with the Cisco Champions program.
Yes.
Or you control it. You're the champion.
Yes,
Champion
sure.
of champions.
Yeah, I try to run influence marketing here at Cisco for a variety of groups. We have a bunch of different programs, but the Cisco Champions is kind of our preeminent program. Is that the right word?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were able to bring a few awesome champs to town to give them a deep dive on something very cool that's coming up in a few weeks.
We can't tell you.
Sorry. But tell us, Lauren, what is the Cisco Champions like very quickly so people know why we're here?
They're very cool technical influencers who exert influence in different ways, but give their unbiased opinions and tend to be really nice, friendly people too. I really like them.
It's tend to be, but not the rule, right?
I've spent the week with you guys, so
That's true.
I learned the word dodgy.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Good word. You learned some English.
Yes. I don't know where to go with that, but yes. Shall I go away now? Or
Yeah, you can go if
Okay,
you want.
thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.
So let's see what we got here, David. You take it while I read some questions. Actually, yeah, we got a quick question right here. Windows Server, should I still spend time learning Windows Server?
I'll let you take that. I'm more of a Cisco guy.
Well, yes. I mean, Windows servers are still very much alive, still very much the most common server. I mean, people will tell you, Linux is like the most common server in the world, more Linux servers than anything else, but Windows is still there, still hot. I mean, we've got Microsoft Azure running Windows servers in the cloud. I mean, that's what's happening right now. The cloud is huge. You're going to be using Windows servers in the cloud.
Yep.
So, yeah, no brainer. Let's see. So they want to know about us meeting for the first time. You want to take that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, fortunately, Chuck filmed some of it, so it was really cool. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, Chuck and I have spoken so many times, but what's been really funny this week is my English versus your English, and like I speak English. Well, it's been a very good week. We've been able to talk about a lot of things, discuss a lot of ideas. Yeah, it's been great.
It's fun. I mean, it's great to meet someone in person, and we've been talking for so long. We've been going live and stuff, and yeah, it's really cool to finally meet this guy, the dodgy South African. Which I know a lot of you guys didn't know he was South African. He speaks Afrikaans, which is crazy. You want to speak some Afrikaans for them? Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I said goeiemorgen, which is good morning for those. Well, firstly, for the Afrikaans guys watching, forgive my bad accent or my dodgy accent. It's not that great, but yeah, I can speak a bit of Afrikaans.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I mean, you can't put me on the spot like this. It's like, I don't know what to say.
Happy birthday.
Gelukkige. now you put him on the spot. No, my Afrikaans isn't that good, but I do speak a bit. So for everyone who wants to know, I originally was born in South Africa, I grew up in South Africa. My mom's English. She emigrated to South Africa in her 20s. So I grew up there, went to school there, but I've been in the UK for quite a long time. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Afrikaans?
I guess that's okay. I guess that's okay. So I think we had another question in there. So someone asked us if we plan to work with or speak with the viral team. No, not this time. This time we had some cool stuff we learned about.
I can say some more about that.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I've had some conversations with the viral team. I met them in Barcelona. Really good group of guys as well. So they've been sharing some stuff with me, but again, I can't say too much, but I think wait for Cisco Live in June, and hopefully by then there'll be some announcements. The Cisco Viral team have already said that a new version of Viral is coming out. I've seen a preview of it. It looks really good. You can find some stuff on the internet about it, like brief overview of what it is. But what do people want to know about Cisco Viral? We didn't speak to the Viral team while we were here this week, but it sounds exciting. Some new stuff's coming out.
All right, so this is the common question we get from Amanda. Okay. For CCNA, would you recommend the 2-test approach versus the 1 test? Now, I answer this question a lot. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at what your experience. If you sort of new to networking, new to Cisco, I would recommend that you take the 2 tests or the two test path. There's a lot of information in the CCNA. There's a lot of material that you have to understand and be able to answer questions about. So if you're new to IT, if you're new to networking, do the 2-test approach. If you, for instance, have been working with Cisco for a long time, or let's say a few years, and you just need to recert, then 1 test is okay. But I would recommend the 2-test approach in most cases.
Oh yeah, for sure. It just makes sense. It's not going to cost you any more or any less. It's going to be the same amount. Taking 2 tests, I think you get a deeper dive on the technologies if you go 2 separate tests.
It's easier to remember everything.
Yeah. Also, that's the case too. You're kind of just dividing and conquering the test. You can focus on one half, digest it. I don't know about you, but I find it much easier to, like, when I look at an exam, objectives for an exam, it's easier to separate it out, study one by side, because when you look at the entire CCNA, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of information. Oh my gosh, if you were to just look at that and go, I'm going to tackle the CCNA. That's kind of demoralizing. But if you take it chunk by chunk, bite by bite, that's a lot easier. So instead of I'm going to get my CCNA, no, today I'm going to learn OSPF, maybe a few of the first LSA types, or just basic understanding foundation. That's how I would kind of tackle it. Let's see. Here's a good one that you probably know a lot about. How important is it to learn Python right now?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've spoken to a lot of people this week, and the same message comes back over and over again, was repeated multiple times. You need to learn Python. You need to learn programming. Not become a programmer like a software developer, but you need to have an appreciation of programming, because network automation, programmability is where it's at. So if you haven't been to the DevNet website, I would recommend that you go there. It's been repeated multiple times by many people. Things are changing. We've been saying this for a long time. Networking, the stuff that you learn in the CCNA, like spanning tree, HSRP, those basic technologies are important to know, but just realize things are moving away from those traditional technologies. This week what was interesting, we heard a lot about overlays.
Oh yeah. And fabrics.
Yeah, fabrics and overlays. That kind of stuff is the future. So do you need to learn Python? Yes. People always ask when. I would say get a foundation in networking if you want to become a network engineer or stay in networking. So either when you're studying your CCNA, study a bit of Python on the side, or as soon as you finish your CCNA, start learning Python. It's seriously important.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more stuff, and I can't tell you because it's really cool what we saw this week, but we saw some things being automated, and it was all Python based, and they wouldn't have been able to do any of this without
really
Python.
Cool stuff,
It's fascinating.
Yeah, we can't talk about it, but we're going to show you some videos later. We saw some really cool labs, like really good
things
labs.
I've never seen before. It's crazy. Let's see. We'll move on to the next question. So we got a question from Sergio. Studying now for my A+, as I know little of computers, would it be smarter for a noob, someone who doesn't know much about things? Do you know what a noob is, David?
Yes, I'm not that uneducated. Or that old.
It wouldn't be educated, it'd be old, and that was my assumption. Would it be smart to do the Network Plus before the CCENT? I'll give my 2 cents on that. I used to have a strong opinion about that. I used to think that CCENT, no-brainer because it holds more value. But I think at this point, with IT being so broad and you can go so many directions, I think it's important to get a good taste for everything. So I would recommend going Network Plus or even A Plus to learn a little bit about the cloud, security. You want to, and servers, and maybe even a little bit of Linux, so you can kind of get a taste, because you don't know what you're going to fall in love with, and that's the thing I've learned a lot about this week we've been here, is because people at Cisco, they are the cream of the crop. They have reached the highest echelon you can of being in IT, and what got them here was finding what they loved and being passionate.
Yeah, passion.
So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem, again, with CCNA or ICND1 is there's so much information. If you're new to it, there's a lot of stuff that they assume that you know. They don't start with the very basics. So if you're struggling with CCNA or CCENT, then go and do Network Plus. Get the foundations. Knowledge is not wasted, so you're not wasting your time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like building layers. So if you understand the stuff in Network Plus, you're going to find that CCNA is a lot easier. So. But we always get these questions like, what should I do? And I always like to say, it's not a or. It's, there's nothing stopping you trying to do a bit of CCNA. And if you struggle with that, then going and doing Network Plus first so that you get the foundation. It's not like you have to do this, you can't do the other. You could try both or, try one or the other and see what works for you. But I mean, this week, what was really interesting, talking about passion, is the guys at the top don't all have fancy degrees.
No.
It's really interesting. We spoke to quite a few people that, one of the guys, helped develop the Wi-Fi stuff that we use every single day. Just a down-to-earth, amazing guy, but no fancy degrees. And they all said over and over again, do what you love, do what you enjoy, do what you're passionate about. What do you think about that?
It's inspiring for me, because I don't have a college degree. I skipped that. So seeing these people who I admire, who have been part of creating what we now know is networking, what we now know is Wi-Fi, and they didn't have this fancy stuff. I mean, it's up to you what you can do with your life and what you can do with your job. It's insane. You just find what you're passionate about. You don't need to get fancy degrees. You don't. Sure, it'll help. And if you're going through a fancy degree right now, don't be discouraged. I mean, it's what you're doing is a good thing. But for those of you who can't, there's a
you can overcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes into line with one of the questions I just saw. Should I go for CCNP after my CCNA, or should I just learn Python? How do I go about that? And it kind of goes into what you just said.
Yeah,
actually.
you don't restrict yourself. What's to stop you doing both? What's to stop you doing route and then studying a little bit of Python on the side? I mean, normally the limitations for most people are time and money. So you've got to balance that. And again, not everyone's going to follow the same path. Everyone has a different story. I mean, your story is very different to my story, which is different to the stories of a lot of guys that we met this week. There's a lot of interesting people. The one guy that we spoke today was a policeman.
Yeah.
And now he's developing Wi-Fi, crazy Wi-Fi ASICs. Don't restrict yourself. And remember that, if you're on one path, there's nothing stopping you changing that path. You're not like, this is the only way I can go. You can change it at, other points in your life. I mean, I've done that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And also a quick question. Does anybody have any questions about the Cisco Champion program? You may have never heard of it, and Lauren just kind of gave you the rundown if you were tuned in earlier. It's a pretty cool program. I mean, we're part of it. It's the reason we're here, and it's a chance to give back to the community. Because if a large part of what we do, and obviously we're doing it now, is we answer questions. We give back to you guys. We started a career. We loved it, and we want to give back to this whole thing about Cisco and technology and IT. And that's what Cisco Champions is about. It's about giving back to the community, and we get some cool stuff in the process. They give us exclusive access to things. We get to know things before other people do.
See cool toys.
Yeah, see cool toys. Things I can't tell you about right now. So it's pretty cool stuff. So if anybody has any questions about how to join that or what the next steps are, maybe you feel like you should be a Cisco champion, ask us. We'll see what we can do for you.
While you're doing that, I'll talk about the CCNP thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just going back to the CCNP versus Python thing, again, you've got to decide for yourself, how much time have you got? How much money have you got? Not everyone has like 8 hours to study or 4 hours in the evening to study. Do as much as you can with what you've got. So if you've only got like 1 hour a night, then prioritize that time. Say on CCNP, get your CCNP, and then study Python. But if you can, try and do both at the same time. I can tell you what we've seen this week and what people have told us, automation, programmability, it's something you have to know. The old way of programming box by box through the CLI, that's the old way of doing it. Yes, things have changed, and they're changing rapidly. So learn the new stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely the case now. And I had one question. I think that kind of falls perfectly into what we're just talking about. It says, do you feel for the next generation certifications and degree, or which one, I guess, versus next generation certifications and degrees, which one will factor in the more? Now it's a more mature field. So I guess the main question is, are certifications important?
Hey,
Degrees
look,
important.
Just arrived.
Oh wait, hold on.
Come join us.
Are we recording something?
We are live.
We're live.
What is this, like a real camera?
Yeah.
We're live on YouTube.
Who let you guys into the studio here?
Oh,
He got us.
This is. Did you reveal your location, I assume, or did you keeping it under wraps?
Tell us who you are and
Yeah.
like, what this
I mean,
is.
not
Do it
that
properly.
he needs to say anything, but I mean, who are you?
Well, no, you guys have incredible audiences. So I'm the Cisco-ized version, to a certain extent, of you guys, is just trying to make it work from a corporate video perspective. Oh, thank you very much. Can I take this with me?
No.
No, so I help tell Cisco stories, mostly for our enterprise networking and data center teams is where I tend to focus. There's been a couple other little things here and there, but in general, I'm just, it's a chance to, are we live right now?
Yeah,
I didn't even pay any attention. Okay, hey guys. Sorry, I didn't even look down at the laptop. But yeah, so if anyone's not seen the show, you can get it at techwisetv.com or cisco.com/go/techwisetv. Generally, we're working on a lot of launch information and different stuff like that. But hopefully, from an episode perspective, now I'm breathing hard. Got me all nervous. This is fat guy trying to suck in and suddenly talk normal. But we work on a lot of launch shows. We work on a lot of you saw an animated piece recently. Did
You do a lot of
yes.
stuff live, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't even let you speak to it. Yeah, Cisco Live is probably one of my most favorite events because we get to interact. We get a lot of feedback and a lot of the energy that you don't get when you're stuck in a studio, then doing post-production. This is cool. You're doing the live, so you can see that like everybody's on here typing, get that goofball off.
So, I mean, you can say who you are, just for the people who don't know you.
I'm sorry, my name is Rob. Rob Boyd with Cisco's TechWise TV.
Very famous guy.
Yeah, but
If you don't mind, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So I mean, if you
let's
get
structure this.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of structure. No, it's loose. Our audience is cool with us messing up. They're used to it. So yeah, Rob, I've been watching you forever. Oh my gosh. I mean, I made my Wi-Fi video, which you guys may have seen. I watched his stuff to understand the previous stuff. So like your AC video, and I think you made it on N and a multi-user MIMO. You've covered.
This team has been great because I've been through a couple of different. Yeah, this is good. I forget we have to do that. I've been able to do a bunch of different animations over time. The team that helps me with these things has changed a little bit over time, so it's taking me longer to get them done. But this one was particularly fun, and that's why it was fun talking to you about.
Yeah.
He's
So
got a new video.
yes, he's got a new video
Very
on
good
Wi-Fi
one.
6.
Very good.
I love what he did with his Wi-Fi 6
very
video.
good.
We kind of talked briefly
Totally
about it
different
before.
style, right?
Yeah,
Than
and
what-
it was fantastic. So we'll put a link in the description below. Actually, just go right now. I mean, we can tell you. Go Google it right now. TechWise TV, Wi-Fi 6. It's on the Twitter. Just go find it, and it's fantastic. But I wanted to ask you because we kind of have a similar job, and David and I as well. We have to rapidly learn new technologies and talk about it.
Yeah.
What's your method for that? What's the method to your madness?
Well, a lot of it is actually leaning on the people here. So one of the benefit I have
Here are amazing. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's one of the things I love about being at Cisco and I started at Cisco in 2000 as a sales rep, and so I was working in the field in commercial markets, and I don't have your technical backgrounds, so I can't naturally do it deeply. But even in sales, I gravitated towards. It just felt weird to me selling purely on relationship. I'm not actually a very good relationship guy. I liked being able to say, well, this is great because of X or why this is different.
The big why, yeah.
And so I had a few. It's fun watching your channel and I'm new to your channannel. I apologize, Dave.
Welcome.
But yeah, no, thank you. I subscribed today, and
Thank you.
because thankfully Lauren, who's off screen there, she
laying
tipped me
down
off to
doing
everything. I know. That's what she calls work.
Yeah.
So first, it's leaning on a lot of people here because I can't say I'm not creating anything from scratch. Everything that I talk about.
You think I do? I mean, I'm leaning on giants learning this stuff. Yeah.
Well, we all are, right, to a certain extent. And I think what I try to lean on is, can I help tell a story more efficiently or find a better metaphor, not a better, I should say a different metaphor, or something someone could latch onto in an ideal situation. It doesn't always happen with every topic. But I would say that I spend a lot of time getting ready for each show. Being in the studio here is a short blip in time. It's all the preparation that leads up to it, and then some cleaning up afterwards.
Thing, right? Like what you see is just the tip, everything. Like we spend hours and days and weeks and months preparing for this stuff.
But back to your point, one thing I love about Cisco Live, I don't prepare at all.
It's live.
It's kind of like this, no preparation. This is
the
straight from us to you right now.
Well, because Cisco Live is all about just the energy, and then everybody's already on their game that we're interacting with, so it's a content dream, right? So you go there and you go, give me your pitch, man. Give me your pitch. In fact, so at Cisco Live Barcelona, we were running around. The producer had given us the task, and I'm one of a couple of hosts, but had given us a task. Said we need to create some content on the fly and fill some time, because one of the challenges with doing a live show that doesn't stop is you've got to bridge the gap. So when someone else finishes up early or late, then we're compressing or expanding content to kind of fit in those things. So sometimes we're making up stuff, more so. But I'll always have people in my back pocket to go, oh, I know someone's ready to go. They've been wanting some airtime, or it's a subject I just really enjoy. But we were going around doing something I hate, which is what I call man on the street. So that is, and you're probably familiar with this right off the thing, but that's where you come up with a camera and you go, hey, my name's Rob Boyd. What is your name? What brings you out to Cisco Live, man? Where does that beard come from? You go.
Kind of like what we just did with you when you came on the couch.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's fair. If everybody would meet me in my own studio, that would make things a lot easier. It's been a long day, though. But so I went around. I was just hitting people in their booths in the partner village, and I don't like it because I just don't like imposing in an aggressive manner, and you kind of have to do that in charm, which I don't think I have any, and see what you can do to. I know I wasn't dragging for compliments, but I'll take them. But it was going through, and there was a lighting manufacturer or something that had it was either lighting or a rack group, and they had the people there, and there was no one at their booth, and so we come up with the crew, and I'm really nice, and I say, hey, I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, but listen, we're live right now, because the camera was streaming at a microwave link back to the studio, and I said, would you like to, and they all go, and they all shrunk away, and I'm like, what, you're here at a conference talking all day, this shouldn't be that big of a surprise. I realize it's a camera, and I get it.
Puts people off. Camera puts people off, I said.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed how people change on camera? Yeah. And you guys have probably been through in your own personal change, just getting used to what you do, because I really respect how you guys put out content on such a regular basis, because that is no easy feat.
No, it's not.
It seems like, and even doing this, it's just deciding to go ahead and bite the bullet. You guys, what you guys don't get to see is these guys drag around. It's still very compact. It's still really compact, but it's still a lot of gear for the sound, for the visual. Do you carry any lights? That would be, yes. At least those have gotten better over the years. But these guys carry a ton of I'm looking at the screen instead of the camera. What a neophyte. How does this work? Which end do I talk into? But yeah, no, sorry, sweating on your microphone. I respect what you guys do, because it takes a lot to just simply stop and go, hey, I want to grab some content and create, because I get bogged down. I'm blessed to have this type of infrastructure behind, right?
Fantastic.
And so the hard part is how do you get back to that storytelling that is both a little bit more immediate and less processed, and kind of come across in a way you can relate to an audience better. That's harder to do in some of the situations. At the same time, I'm not going to complain, because obviously any of us would kill to have access to professional camera people and lighting people and stuff like that, but it's the business units, the people at Cisco that make the products. That's kind of how I keep the show alive, is by working with them from a cost exchange perspective, because I don't have my own budget. It's just kind of an internal organization, so to speak, that we create.
You become like us, like a YouTuber. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. I don't have your views. I don't have your audience, man. You guys are rocking.
Hey, they're watching you right now. We're here.
Subscribe. What do they say? Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. We don't do that to you guys. Tell me, the Wi-Fi 6 is big right now, right? And I got a video. We both have videos out. What's your favorite part about it? Just off because it is cool. There's a lot of hype around it, but do you think the hype matches actually what it is?
I think only time will tell. There was a little not a hidden joke, but there was a visual it was done in text, but there's kind of a visual joke in the video if you guys go watch it, and there's a repeated line that I never say, but it's in the video toward the bottom. It says, "Your mileage will vary."
Your mileage will vary. Yes.
And I never think of those originally, and then I was like, oh, I love when things work better in reverse, because we were able to reverse into the metaphor I'd set up of buying a new car, and the fact that that sticker price always has that mileage kind of thing on it, and it's this is just our guess. It's usually going to be a little bit positive, and that's kind of like we get with wireless. We talk about numbers with every wireless release. They're based on the absolute best case scenario that nobody ever experienced.
Faraday cage. Yeah, it's so tight. Yeah.
And so I think my favorite thing, I love the way that came together, but that was just personal thing. But from a technology perspective, of course, we still don't know how well it's going to turn out, because it is still going to be quite a while, because we all get hyped up, and as from the vendor perspective, it's our job to get everybody hyped up, and hopefully, but the market is doing that. So we've got our products out now and all that's coming along. But I think it's the focus. I mean, this is the one change that feels more specific to companies, to enterprise, because it's a whole new level of control with AP communicating to the clients, and the clients having to listen to the AP. So with like BSS coloring and saying, hey, we've been telling clients for years already to say, could you turn down your radio? You don't need to be broadcasting that loud because you're tromping on everybody else's channels. Well, now they have to listen, and it's part of that protocol. Maybe we get some more mileage out of MU-MIMO for a change, because that's been the big thing that never really happened with Wave 2, because it didn't have to.
Right.
So I think my thing is I like the level of control we're getting to with it, and I think in the long run, I still think I'd be hopeful if we could see it in 3 years. I mean, people need to start moving, but the AC Wave 2 is giving people plenty of bandwidth right now. But the high density and the efficiency stuff that this brings is going to make a huge difference once we get kind of a critical mass. We kind of turn that corner.
See, I think my opinion, because I looked at the previous Wi-Fi versions, the previous standards, and I feel like AX is different. It's definitely bringing a different. It's not just faster. It's going to be more efficient, better for the masses, and I think because it is cooler, and that this might be my naivete. I don't know how you'd say that. I think it will be adopted quicker. And I think,
well, I agree with you.
It's the clients though. That's,
but I think there's motivation or incentive for the manufacturers now because of things like target wake time and the fact that you can get on and off a channel faster. It benefits everybody, and so I think when we do those kind of things, then there does become a little bit more momentum. So I don't think you're off the rails there.
And also I think like with the way we buy our phones now, I mean, how many people out there have a subscription? They upgrade their phone every single 6 months or a year.
Us. I thought maybe that was just
you guys.
Yeah. But I mean,
conservative.
I'm addicted to phones. I'll be honest about that. But we upgrade our phones every time there's a new one, and that's at least how I am with Apple. Apple, hurry up with the AX. But seriously, like we adopt a new technology quicker now.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to help with the adoption of AX. I think we're going to see it happen so much faster.
I think.
But it's also isn't like the it's not just Wi-Fi 6. It's also like 5G. So do you think that'll also have an effect?
Yeah, So I honestly don't know as much about the 5G, because obviously that's in a major hype cycle right now too, and it's getting harder and harder, because one of the problems is the hype cycle. People are coming in seemingly marketing educated, if you will, from a 5G perspective, but that's a carrier technology. It's not going to penetrate buildings and stuff as much as we want, and it requires so many little microcells to be set up to be efficient. So I think they are going to continue to blend, and we need to be focused as an industry on how well do we hand off between these, because I don't know if you've done this, but the whole thing of have you ever been and you've got what looks like you've got good Wi-Fi, you've got good cellular connectivity showing on your phone perhaps, but something's not going, and it feels like there's a mismatch, and it's not knowing which channel to kind of go out of, if you will. I'm probably not using the right terminology. And then you turn off your Wi-Fi, even though you're indoors, because it just grabs the cellular signal more cleanly. So I think how we arbitrate those type of connections, I think will continue to make a good difference, because some of the speeds and people I've heard where 5G supposedly has been, showed up in certain cities, I've heard good things.
Oh yeah.
And I like that. Yeah, I like watching TV on my phone when I drive, so that helps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely helps. No, Rob, I mean, you're an awesome guy. You see a ton of technology. You kind of get the first look at some technology. You get to kind of be the Cisco's voice to some of the new stuff. In the past 6 months, what's been some of your favorite technology that's come out? And that's a big question, I know. But you've talked with Hank Preston, you've talked with a ton of people on all the new releases. What's been your favorite so far?
So that's a tough question, because I've kind of been focused on Wi-Fi 6 so much. It took me 6 months to figure out how to put that thing together.
Wow, that long.
I mean, it's
6 months. Yeah. And how long is the video?
7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it shows you.
But the shorter ones are harder, as you know.
Oh my gosh, they're harder. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could just talk loosely, I could fill any. I don't know how fast I would get to a point, but no, I mean today we are shooting in here. We're rounding. Oh, I don't think it's announced yet, so I can't tell you what we're shooting in here. I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about this. I'm like,
It's a good thing you didn't.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a huge deal, but this is general because you'd expect this. We're continuing to expand the portfolio in wireless with things that we don't currently do. So it's obviously we're on the iOS XE trend. So I think from an enterprise networking perspective, what I really like is Cisco promised I think it was a couple of years ago, we first started featuring DNA Center and. In talking about how everything's going to a common code base across all of the Catalyst line, because we had the 3000, the 5000, the 6000. We have all these different, some very mature products with lots of deployments. To take a huge company with this kind of deployment out and say we're going to get all the code finally, because I think we've been down this road promising this kind of thing in the past, but we're all going to merge into a single code base and a single firmware. Which I think has ripple effects we're not able to even see yet, because now we can deploy faster and we can do things because we're not having to update all these trains and all the mismatches that occur. Because one of the hardest things about being a big company and moving rapidly, from my perspective, and I'm not inside seeing how this stuff works, but it's that you have so many mature customers that have specialized things, and it's like you got to keep them happy because they got you where you are. At the same time, you have to continue to innovate, and Cisco does a lot of innovative things with our investments, with the obviously the way we buy companies in certain situations, but also if you've seen the stuff with Cisco Investments and the little companies, they're always. By the way, at Cisco Live, if you've not already done this, go talk in the investments pavilion. Because
I would never think to do that.
Yeah, because it's actually, these are smaller companies, and usually you're getting access to a founder or a creator or something where we've invested. We may never buy them, and we may just stay an investor for a while, but they're usually doing really creative stuff, and it gives you a glimpse into, that's the next corner that either we think the industry might be turning, and by having an investment in it, we're helping them, and we're able to keep our eye a bit, more close on what's potentially happening, so we can hopefully, as John used to say, and I think it was who was it? Wayne Gretzky, skate to where the pull. I'm a big hockey fan. Skate to where the puck, but where it is, not where it was, or where you think it'll be, something to that effect. But yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. It's a mix mash of things to that answer. But usually my favorite thing is always the last thing I'm working on, whatever that, because I forget.
It has to be your favorite, right?
Yeah, and that's actually the hardest part of the job. Sometimes on the research phase is, to a certain extent, when I get approached with a new technology, or if I'm pursuing it, I've already kind of gone through this stage, but I have to fall in love with it in a weird way, because when I'm writing for it, I'm like, well, how are we going to position this show? How are we going to make something? How do we compare and contrast? What are the expectations? What might you guys say? I literally think about you guys when it comes to creating this stuff, because I'm like, because the audience to me, and when I always think of customers, and I think of my role when I was in sales, it's like there's a lot of smart people outside that are always ready. You've seen the activity on your channels. People will weigh in on stuff, and so you got to keep producing content and figure out how to. Okay, I'm going to put myself out there, and then I'm going to apologize quickly if I mess something up, and we're going to move forward because we're all human, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so we're getting the buzzer to end this, but yeah, this was, dude.
Rob, great to meet you.
Yeah, then. Great to see you.
Located?
UK.
That's right.
In the UK.
Somewhere else.
He's far away. He's just far away.
I saw you guys trading. You sent the picture because Lauren tweeted it, I believe. You were on the plane, and you go, "This is my." It was your resting face of some sort. Yeah, yeah, that was cool. Thanks for coming all the way over to see things and stuff. I hope this has been a good week for you guys too.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Yeah. They're gonna do it a lot more, right? Yes. Okay. See, we got the buy-in live. That's smart.
Way to commit on video too.
Oh yeah, that's how we do things. But Rob, thanks so much, dude. I know we kind of this was not planned, by the way.
We put you on the spot.
Yeah, he showed up. He's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? We're live."
No, they broke into the studio. I didn't have anything to do with it.
This is how good he is, though. I mean, he just went into character, and it's not character; it's how he really is.
Slower when I think. Yeah. Don't think too much.
Oh, guys, that's about it. If you have any more questions, let us know. If you have questions for Rob, we will get those his way, and he probably won't answer them. So we'll pretend like he's no, he's a good guy.
I'll pretend to answer.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. This is IT, and I guess we'll talk to you later.
All the best.
And we're ending the stream. 3, 2, 1.